A Very Unmerry Other Railway Christmas, based on Thomas's Christmas Party, written by the Reverend W. Aldry, and retold by Wingstriker 3801. The first series final, which is adapted for the first audio production of the series in 2008, introducing a firm fan favourite who doesn't have a budgerigar. It was Christmas on the other railway, and all the engines were working hard. Oh, don't look so shocked, I meant harder than usual. Nothing gets the wheels turning like the threat of frostbite. Anyway, the thing Git's fleet was busy carrying people and parcels up and down the lines, and everyone was complaining, but only the express units Pip and Emma were very happy. Oh, it's always the same before Christmas, they chirped. We feel so full. We feel so full. Oh, come on, snapped Diesel. Where are your Yuletide blues? Christmas Day is almost here. And just what, pray tell, is so bad about Christmas Day? Pip asked indignantly. Her answer could be found by the side of the track at a grotty little mansion, where a frail but fierce figure stood shouting whenever something passed. It's Mrs. Cruelly, Diesel would groan. Toot toot! Crappy Christmas, you old bat! Mrs. Cruelly was cruelty personified. Millionaire founder of a razor blade company, she hated everyone and everything, and nothing gave her greater joy than tormenting the inhabitants of the other railway. Diesel always felt worse for seeing her. Christmas just wasn't Christmas with Mrs. Cruelly around. One day when work was over, Diesel went to see the other engines. All their coats had been polished with unhealthy cocktails of Mr. Sheen and Sell-It Bang. Said old Stuck-Up. Just look at us. Your driver will have to work fast to get you as smart as us. Diesel noticed several blinded workmen riding around his friends. Never mind such trivialities, he replied. I've something very important to say. Do you realize it's a whole year since Mrs. Cruelly caused that nasty accident? Yeah, you remember. She was ill in bed and... Yes, of course, interrupted Bowler. You told us how she blamed it all on our fumes and played her Simply Red records full blast to create a landslide on the track. If I recall, you and Spamcan, caused the biggest pile-up in railway history, Derek joined in. And the thing Git sent her to Bournemouth for rehabilitation. Right ruddy waste of money that was. But, said Spamcan and Stuck-Up together, the rest of us had never really thanked her properly. Exactly, said Diesel. So I think we should all give her the worst Christmas ever. Everyone was very excited, and the drivers felt sure that the thing Git would agree, as indeed he did. No one donates my clothes to the blind and gets away with it. The engines were all busy plotting and devising traps when silence fell. The thing Git had bad news. Oh, the weather's changed badly. Everywhere is snowed up, except somehow for Mrs. Cruelly's. Spamcat said he'll help to investigate. You must help too, Diesel. There's no payback unless you do. Diesel hated helping people, but he said bravely, I'll try, sir. We must pay her out. We must. Yeah, that's a good engine. You and Spamcan will manage splendidly. I'll break it down into spare parts for my nephew's train set. Diesel led the way to Mrs. Cruelly's mansion, closely followed by Spamcan and a long line of snow-filled trucks. He charged the snowdrifts fiercely with a snowplow. Well, actually, half an old industrial gas pipe. Sometimes he swept them aside. Sometimes they stuck fast, and the workmen had to blow them to kingdom come. But at the cutting near the mansion, they could hardly believe their eyes. "Hey, look at that!" exclaimed Diesel's driver. A sun lamp as tall as a harbour crane stood shining down over Mrs. Crawley's house. No wonder she wasn't snowed in," snarled Spamcan. "That bloody thing could melt an ice cap within a minute." "Toot, toot, toot! Get out here, you great prune!" tooted Diesel. An answering raspberry came from the downstairs sunbed. Then they heard a familiar sound. "Oi! Over here, Mr. Spamcan!" "Hey, it's Scrappy!" exclaimed Spamcan. "He's come to help too." And sure enough, it was Scrappy. After his encounter with the goods diesel, the truck had been rebuilt into a tractor and was working hard to pull the sun lamp down to the ground. "All right, gentlemen, go!" ordered Diesel. The cavalcade moved forward, and Spamcan left his trucks of snow in front of the mansion. Workmen quickly fitted charges to eat as the sun lamp toppled down with an almighty crash. "Don't screw with us, Diesels," barked Spamcan as he and Diesel trundled to safety. Kaboom! The entire Crawley estate was buried from chimney to soil in a mountain of snow. At long last, their gloating was complete. Diesel took the tired workmen home without overheating once. "Ah, good, 'cause I love winter." And Scrappy said, "Bugger off," to Mrs. Crawley and promised to take care of her razor blade factory while she was away, as they all set off. The saboteurs made good time. No more snow had fallen, but the yard was dark. Diesel's black heart sank. It seemed that the thing Git hadn't paid the meter again. Suddenly, lights of all the colours of the rainbow burst on. What a marvellous sight awaited the team! All the engines were there, cheering them and wearing oversized novelty Santa hats. Even the brake father looked slightly more festive than usual. Workmen were dancing drunkenly all over the yard, and a large banner hung over them reading, "Congratulations." It was cheaper hiring Japanese immigrants to do the decorations. Well done," said the thing Git drunkenly, wearing a green paper crown. I'm really all of proud of you. You'll never guess who's on the speakerphone." He held a speakerphone on high for all to see and hear. It was Mrs. Crawley ranting like a sailor. "Hello, each and every one of you. Those pieces of yours, those old bastards. That trucker's, he's a bigot too. This is the worst bloody Christmas I ever had in my life. Well then, 3 swears for Mrs. Crawley," called Spamcat. They all tooted and began to sing. Diesel, the rag engine, and his associates thought it was the best Christmas ever, and Mrs. Crawley could think of nothing more infuriating than living here with them on the other railway.